African rock python. The African rock python is one of the headlining names when you search for snakes in Africa. It is the biggest snake on the continent. We know pythons for their size, power, and beautifully colored skin. Pythons live throughout Sub-Saharan Africa. You can find them from Senegal to Ethiopia and down to South Africa. There is, however, a slight difference between the rock python species found in Central and Southern Africa. Rock pythons, like all pythons, are constrictors that use their muscles to subdue their prey. This doesn't mean you should let them bite you because they still have very sharp teeth that can leave a nasty scar. African rock python versus Southern African python. African rock pythons, Python cebi, are one of two python species found in Africa. The other python is the Southern African python or Southern African rock python, old name. For a long time, these two snakes were both thought to be part of the cebi species. The African rock python was the nominate species, while the Southern African rock python was the subspecies Python cebi natalensis. Rock python size. The African rock python is the largest snake in Africa, growing up to around 6.5 m in length. This is considerably longer than its Southern African cousin, which grows to approximately 5.5 m. It would be quite tricky to know which snake you are dealing with by just looking at its length. Even though these two snakes are so similar in size, it's their distribution that gives them away. Rock python distribution. African rock pythons live in Central Africa, stretching from Senegal in the west to Ethiopia in the east. You can find these snakes as far south as northern Angola. Southern African pythons do not live in any of these countries and, instead, live in the 5 countries found at Africa's tip. Namely South Africa, Namibia, Mozambique, Botswana, and Zimbabwe. So, if you happen across a thick 5 m long snake in any Central African country, you can be certain that you have just encountered an African rock python. How do they subdue prey? Although these rock snakes can be dangerous, rock pythons are not venomous snakes. This means that their bite will not have any severe side effects. Instead of overpowering their prey using venom, these snakes use their sheer strength to catch their meals. These snakes are slow-moving and often prefer waiting for food to come to them. Once they have identified their prey, they will strike. African rock python's teeth are sharp and curve backward to grab prey with an initial bite. Once attached, the seemingly cumbersome snake comes alive. It immediately starts wrapping its large body around its prey. Every time the prey breathes out, the python squeezes harder. Once killed, snakes all swallow their prey head first. This is especially important when rock pythons swallow prey such as porcupines or antelope. African rock python breeding. African rock pythons reproduce during spring. They are oviparous snakes that can lay anywhere between 20 to 100 eggs. You can find these hard-shelled eggs in old animal holes or cavities. Each egg is roughly the size of a tennis ball. Contrary to most snakes, female rock pythons are great parents. The female will coil around her eggs and stay with them until they hatch, sometimes up to 90 days later. It doesn't stop there. Rock python mothers will go as far as guarding their new hatchlings for the next 2 weeks. This behavior is incredibly unique for snakes. Hatchlings appear to look almost identical to adults, except for having more contrasting colors. These baby pythons can be anywhere between 45 to 60 centimeters in length. African rock python facts. Before ending this article, we are going to look at 5 of the most interesting rock python facts. 1. African rock pythons have heat sensors on their upper lip. These help them sense heat differences between prey and their surroundings. 2. These snakes have 2 functioning lungs. This is different from other more advanced snake species that only have 1 functioning lung. 3. On the snake's belly, you can see visible pelvic spurs. These are what remains of hind limbs that have since disappeared. 4. The African rock python is one of the 6th largest species of snakes in the world. Other species include green anaconda, reticulated python, Burmese python, Indian python, and amethystine python. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like and leave comments below. See you in the next video.